The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista. Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning, and thanks for waking up with us. I'm Maddie Jansen, anchoring from home here in Tehachapi. Chris Burton is in for Alex, who's still on vacation.
Meantime, the United States is now experiencing a shortage of disposable face masks. Manufacturers blame the shortage on global supply chain issues. They say another reason is the need for face masks has not been consistent. It increases based on flare-ups like at the beginning of the pandemic, during the Delta surge, and now during Omicron. And here at home, Kern Public Health released COVID-19 data for the first time since last Wednesday. Officials reported 780 new cases of the virus and 13 more deaths over the holiday. According to the state database, 105 people are currently hospitalized here in Kern, and 32 people are in local ICU beds. Kern Public Health will resume regular updates next Monday. And as we continue to learn of more deaths from COVID-19 in Kern County, a federal program designed to help cover funeral costs for those who have died from the virus is going largely untapped. According to a report by the Associated Press, families who have lost loved ones can apply to the Federal Emergency Management Agency for a reimbursement of up to $9,000 to help cover funeral expenses. FEMA has already paid out $1.5 million in federal funeral expenses to nearly 1.5 million people since the pandemic began. And that suggests hundreds of thousands of families who may be eligible yet have not taken advantage of that benefit. You can find more information on who is eligible and how to apply at www.fema.gov.
From our follow-up file now, the family of a brother and sister who were killed by a suspected DUI driver is inviting the public out to help remember them with a candlelight memorial. 19-year-old JJ Malone and 10-year-old Kaylee Brown, as well as their family dog Roxy, were killed when a car ran off the road and hit them on the sidewalk near the girls' school bus drop-off spot in South Bakersfield. That was back on December 8th. Tonight's memorial will be at 5 p.m. at the scene of the tragedy on Panama Lane near H Street. In your 17 Crime Watch this morning, Bakersfield police are asking for help identifying an alleged burglar who broke into a home in the middle of the day. According to BPD, the burglary happened back on November 25th at a home on Corbett Canyon Drive near the intersection of Olive Drive and Jewett Avenue in Northwest Bakersfield. Police released these pictures of the man, described as being in his 20s with a medium build. He was riding a black mountain bike. If you know who he is, you're asked to call Detective Miller with the BPD at 342-8630. And a man and woman were arrested following a carjacking in South Bakersfield. It happened just before 11 p.m. Thursday night on Chiapas Avenue near Panama Lane and South Union Avenue. Police say 28-year-old Ryan McGovern of Visalia and 27-year-old Gina Jones of Tulare were involved in the carjacking. McGovern reportedly approached the owner of the vehicle, pointed a gun at him, and told him to get out. The pair was arrested following a pursuit. A loaded gun was also found. They were booked on charges of carjacking and resisting arrest, among other charges. New body camera video has been released, giving us a look inside a Burlington store where police accidentally shot and killed a 14-year-old girl just before Christmas amid a chaotic confrontation with an assault suspect. Chris Wolf with our sister station in Los Angeles has more.
Slow down. Let me take point with the rifle.
LAPD body cam footage shows the incredibly tense moments as officers confront a man attacking random people with a bicycle chain at a Burlington clothing store in North Hollywood. This was Thursday morning, December 23rd. Surveillance footage reveals a man rode his bicycle into the store and took an escalator up to the second floor, where he soon started attacking people and smashing objects. Authorities say he beat one woman with his bicycle chain and lock. She was able to escape, and soon after he struck another woman repeatedly over the head with that bicycle chain. He dragged her near a dressing room and continued to beat her. Police eventually found the suspect, and an officer-involved shooting occurred. The man, identified as 24-year-old Daniel Lopez, was killed. During that encounter, a police bullet entered a wall, and investigators later discovered a fitting room was on the other side where a mother was with her 14-year-old daughter. The bullet hit the girl, killing her. Now family and friends are calling for justice for the teenage victim, Valentina Oriana Peralta. A posting on a GoFundMe page says, quote, Valentina and her mother went to Los Angeles from Santiago, Chile, with the goal of a better life in California just months before her death. This is yet another case of a senseless use of a deadly weapon by police force in the USA, end quote. The LAPD has expressed its deepest condolences for the tragedy and has launched an investigation into the deadly use of force that claimed the life of an innocent bystander.
Chris Wolf reporting there. As we put the holidays behind us and look toward 2022, there will soon be several new rules on the road for California drivers. They include harsher penalties for illegal sideshows, which is when two or more people block or impede traffic on a highway for the purpose of performing stunts, exhibitions of speed, or reckless driving for spectators. Another new law requires safety gear for people riding horses, mules, and donkeys. This includes wearing a helmet and requires riders to wear reflective gear after dark. And another law removes restrictions previously imposed on federally recognized Native American tribes operating emergency vehicles on their reservations. These new laws take effect on January 1st. And another new law will force Californians to step up their composting efforts. As of January 1st, you will no longer be allowed to throw away your food scraps with the rest of your trash. Instead, they will be collected separately in those green bins for composting. Scientists say this will keep organic waste out of landfills, which can damage the atmosphere as it decays and becomes biogas. This law will roll out gradually to help households and businesses adjust to the new system. Anyone who fails to separate their trash will be fined, but that won't be enforced until 2024.
In your 17 Health Watch now, a reminder for those who need to sign up for health insurance. Covered California's first open enrollment deadline is this week. If you're looking to get coverage through the state's insurance marketplace, you need to sign up by December 31st in order for coverage to begin in January. Officials say the need for health insurance is more important than ever as the Omicron variant spreads. According to California, the average cost of a COVID-related hospitalization and ICU care is $127,000.
Welcome back here at 549. Christmas is now behind us, which means the kids are busy playing with new toys, but some of those toys could have hidden hazards. Shay Arthur has more.
Yummy! Christmas has come and gone. Children across the Mid-South get to play with their shiny new toys. But according to helpadvisor.com, it's also a time to be extra cautious. According to the website, in the days between Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, an average of 3,900 children are taken to the emergency room with toy-related injuries. Dr. Kimberly Brown with St. Francis Hospital Bartlett says parents must pay close attention to the gifts their child unwraps.
Really making sure that toys are age appropriate.
Unpowered scooters topped Help Advisor's list as the main toy landing children in the ER over the last 10 years. The National Electronic Injury Surveillance System cited as the source. Dr. Brown says bikes, hoverboards, and skates also need extra safety precautions.
Making sure that if your kid gets that toy, making sure that they have a helmet and they're wearing their helmet when they're actually playing with that toy is extraordinarily important.
Also pay attention to toys with batteries.
Specifically, button batteries are extraordinarily dangerous for small children, I'd say under the age of 4, because if the kid swallows it, it can get stuck in their airway and actually corrode and cause a very serious injury to their feeding tube, their esophagus.
She encourages adults to handle the batteries and double check toys that might have small parts.
We also just want to make sure that those small parts aren't getting stuck in kids' noses, it being inhaled, swallowed, things like that. I see so many kids that actually accidentally swallow different things and different toys throughout the year.
Getting stuck in airways, potentially leading to an emergency.
That was Shay Arthur reporting. We'll get set to pay even more at the grocery store next year. Many food manufacturers have said they plan to raise prices for a range of items from coffee to condiments like mustard and mayonnaise. Food prices overall are forecast to rise 5% in the first half of 2022, according to research firm IRI. Oreo maker Mondelez said that it is hiking prices across its cookies, candy, and other products by 6 to 7%. General Mills and Campbell's Soup also plan price increases for January. The Wall Street Journal reports that Kraft Heinz has told retailers it will raise prices as much as 20%. Many staples are expected to be more pricey, in part because of higher labor, packaging, and shipping costs.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.